Cat kicked Danny's shin to show her displeasure, but she didn't react. Instead, she flipped her hair again. "We were just about to get a drink."
"Why don't you let me do that for you?"
the guy said, his eyes squarely on Danny's ample chest. He gestured for her to join him against the bar.
"I'm Brad."
"Nice to meet you, Brad. I'm Danny, and this is Cat." Danny spit Cat's name out through clenched teeth, attempting to get her to play along, but Cat had already checked out. This was so typical Danny. They were supposed to be celebrating Emma. Couldn't they have a girls' night without bringing men into it? Yeah, she and Danny were the two single ones on this trip, but single for Danny meant something entirely different than it did for Cat. Cat was single on purpose, because men, at the risk of making a sweeping generalization, sucked and lied. Oh, and also ruined everything. At least the one she'd met, fallen in love with, and almost married. Sure, he was one guy. She'd heard that argument before, but that's all it took to throw her entire life off course. Why bother spinning that wheel of fortune again? Her chest did that familiar, achy, angry thing it did whenever she thought of Micah, and she gulped her sickly sweet cocktail to push it away. The thick, syrupy flavor only made her cough. She felt an elbow connect with her ribs as Danny tried again to draw her into the conversation she was forcing with Brad. "So, Cat was just saying what a fun place this is," Danny said. She definitely was not. "Do you come here often?"
"I like to be wherever the pretty girls are," Brad said. "Looks like I picked the right place tonight."
This guy was something else. And not for nothing, the way he was leering was setting off all sorts of alarm bells inside her head. She was used to the standard bullshit spinning that men do, where they tell you exactly what they think you want to hear in hopes you'll act against your better judgment. This guy, though, he was standing way too close and staring way too hard. He had "Watch your drinks, girls" written all over him. Cat looked around the bar, spotting the rest of their friends on the dance floor. Maybe she could use the Bon Jovi song blaring from the speakers to entice Danny to join them. Who could resist living on a prayer? She tugged Danny's arm and pointed to the rest of the group, but Danny shook her head. "What's with the shirt?" Danny asked Brad. "You look like you're ready to party." Brad beamed with pride as he thought that it was a compliment.
"And you look like you're ready to join me,"
he said, inching closer. It was going to be a long night. This wasn't his type of place. Josh Rideout stood squished against the sticky bar, catching stray elbows into his back every time one of the frat boys behind him did another shot. He'd already had a beer and something pink spilled on his shirt while waiting for Dylan, his best friend and purveyor of poor decisions, to order another round. He scanned the club through flashes from the DJ booth and raised beer bottles, loud music, $10 cocktails served in tiny plastic cups, girls who looked way too young to be wearing what they were wearing and dancing how they were dancing. Yeah, this was Dylan's type of place. That's how he and their friend Sean had ended up at this dive that Dylan swore was the hottest place on the beach. Frankly, all of them being in their early 30s, Josh thought they were a little old for it. This was the type of place where everyone was looking for something, and whatever it was that Josh was looking for these days, he was pretty sure he wouldn't find it here. Dylan handed Josh an overpriced rum and coke, then a beer to Sean, and threw some bills down, stepping aside so the eager mob could take his place at the bar. "Shit, man," Dylan said. He ran a hand over his dark, perfectly gelled hair and whistled through his teeth. "You see that girl I was talking to? I think I'm in love." "Yeah, we saw," Josh said, pushing away from the crowded bar to find a clear spot on the deck. "What about the girl from the last bar, Casanova?" Dylan hated the nickname, which made it all the more fun. But seriously, they were at a bar that mixed drinks in plastic cups, and Dylan was dressed in trousers with the top buttons of his dress shirt undone, like a model from a men's cologne ad. Who was he kidding? Dylan smiled over his cup. "You know, you could stand to loosen up a little bit, Joshua."